All right. Hello. Happy Monday. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. So good to see you here today. My name is Kim O'Neill. If this is your first time joining, and every day is a new day. Every moment is another new moment, a new opportunity to start over, to take another deep breath, to tune in, to listen. I'm going to take this earbud out of my ear since it's just me and you today. I am feeling so awesome. Just had a wonderful conversation with someone. I want to give her a shout out. Her name is April Mahoney. I was about to name someone else. And if you have not checked her out, definitely check her out. She is wonderful. So we are coming to you today. Our show is about focusing on the light and leaning in. Focusing on the light and leaning in. And I got really into today's message as I was pulling books for today's excerpt. And it's actually, I'm primarily reading from one book, but there's going to be a second book I reference because there is a summary message that is where the focus on the light part comes through. So as I did today, I really just tuned in. I said, what books have an inspiring, empowering message for everyone today that is really going to serve you wherever you are. And so the two books that, and I did not question them whatsoever. I simply had to tune in though to see what was the collective message or the thread, the theme of the messages. And the first one comes from A Life God Rewards by Bruce Wilkinson. Why everything you do today matters forever. And so, again, I'm not quite reading from this book, but I want to share that the theme from the passage that I came to, it was talking about the tests of relationship, the test of motive, the test of love. And essentially, the theme here that this book, this excerpt was talking about was about focusing on the light. Just reminding yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? And are you doing it with that thread and beam of light to not only support you in feeling most aligned, but also then guide and direct you into what you're doing and bring that light forward into everything that you're doing. So I just thought that was beautiful. I wanted to share that. And now, as I move into the next part that I will actually read, we're coming from Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. And I don't think I've ever pulled from this book. So this is going to be, this is a first for this particular book. And I totally see why this is coming through because I see, I've had some speakers be reaching out to me for assistance with their confidence as they're speaking and putting themselves out there, shining their light more. And I love it. And it's very fitting. So anyway, so this book is specifically going to speak to that and Sheryl Sandberg's experiences. And before I read, I just want to give a quick hello to our live viewers who are with us today. Good to see you, Helene and Sue Lee. Awesome to have you here. And anyone else who is joining us, again, whether you're live or on the replay, it's awesome to have you here. So I am going to skip just a little bit because some of this is, Sheryl's storytelling and certain things that would sort of take us out of focus from the point. But if you were in that space of cultivating more confidence, in breaking away, choosing to be on your own, you may also know that I have also been reading from Braving the Wilderness by Brené Brown, The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone, because it's all about that in your quest for belonging, it's all about first belonging to yourself. Having that alignment with yourself, belonging to yourself. And I bring that up because that's what this is about too. When you have that focus on the light, you realize it's so imperative for you to be aligned with your truth. Not to be speaking from a space of, oh, this is what I should say, but this is what is most in alignment and true for me. And therefore, this is my message and I bring it forth. And so, with that, I'm going to get into our, we've got about 1.5 pages I'm going to be reading here. And so starting on page 144, which is a very divinely guided light-filled number, I believe, we have at the very bottom of 144 of Lean In, Let's Start Talking About It. Cheryl says, fortunately, Cheryl says, I decided it was time to stop putting my head down and to start speaking out. And then she goes into some story talking about different powerful women she was connecting with while visiting the campus of Google. She met Gloria Steinem, Jane Fonda. She met Kim Malone Scott, who ran the Google publishing teams. And all of these women were inspiring her and empowering her. And yet she came to a point where, you know what, they weren't quite available. And she said, I had never spoken about being a woman in public before. Not once. I had no talking points or notes to turn to. Then I realized how striking this was and that I actually had quite a lot to say. I began my talk the next day by explaining that in business, we are taught to fit in, but that I was starting to think this might not be the right approach. I said out loud that there are differences between men and women, both in their behavior and in the way their behavior is perceived by others. I admitted that I could see these dynamics playing out in the workforce and that in order to fix the problems, we needed to be able to talk about gender without people thinking we were crying for help, asking for special treatment, or about to sue. A lot poured out of me that day. Then I returned to Northern California and put the conversation on hold. In the following 4 years, I gave 2 talks on women in the workplace, both behind closed doors to professional women's groups at nearby Stanford. Then one day, Pat Mitchell called to tell me that she was launching TED Women, as in TEDx, TED Talks. Pat Mitchell called to tell me that she was launching TED Women and invited me to speak on social media. I told her I had another subject in mind and started pulling together a talk on how women can succeed in the workforce, a talk that TED later named Why We Have Too Few Women Leaders. Very quickly, I became excited, and just as quickly, I learned that no one else shared my excitement. Friends and colleagues, both male and female, warned me that making this speech would harm my career by instantly typecasting me as a female COO and not a real business executive. In other words, I wouldn't be blending in. I worried they might be right. Speaking at TED would be different from my previous keynotes. Although I would be addressing a sympathetic room, the talk would be posted on the web, where anyone could watch and judge and criticize. Inside Facebook, few people noticed my TED Talk, and those who did responded positively. But outside of Facebook, the criticism started to roll in. One of my colleagues from Treasury called to say that others, not him, of course, were wondering why I gave more speeches on women's issues than on Facebook. I had been at the company for 2.5 years and given countless speeches on rebuilding marketing around the social graph and exactly 1 speech on gender. Someone else asked me, "So is this your thing now?" At the time, I didn't know how to respond. Now, I would say yes. I made this my thing because we need to disrupt the status quo. Staying quiet and fitting in may have been all the first generations of women who entered corporate America could do. In some cases, it might still be the safest path. But this strategy is not paying off for women as a group. Instead, we need to speak out, identify the barriers that are holding women back, and find solutions. The response to my TED Talk showed me that addressing these issues openly can make a difference. Women forwarded the video to their friends, colleagues, daughters, and sisters. I began receiving emails, letters from women all around the world who wanted to share their stories of how they gained the courage to reach for more opportunities, to sit at more tables, and believe more in themselves. And I'm going to go ahead and read one more paragraph that is pretty interesting. One of my favorite letters came from Sabine Virani, a consultant in Dubai and the only woman in an office of more than 300 employees. She responded to my story about the executive who could not point to the women's bathroom because, as she explained, in her workplace, the women's bathroom did not even exist. Sabine described how during her first week on the project, the client took her team out to dinner, but she couldn't join because the restaurant didn't allow women. Talk about not sitting at the table. She couldn't even get into the restaurant. Some of the men were openly hostile to Sabine. Others just ignored her. But rather than give up and transfer to a friendlier office, she decided that she could demonstrate to everyone that women are competent professionals. In the end, she won her coworkers over, and the client converted a bathroom into a women's bathroom just for her. She sent me a photo of her standing in front of a door with a printed sign that read simply and powerfully, "Toilets for women only." Okay, and that's the end of the excerpt there. And we end on page 147, which I also think is a beautiful, divinely aligned number. I love that number. So, we're speaking today specifically on focusing on the light and leaning in. And so while the excerpt that I just read from was specifically very much focused on choosing to have that courage and confidence to speak on topics that are related to gender, related to, breaking status quo and social norms, fitting in. This is really about that fitting in aspect of about you being so in alignment that you allow yourself to do things that may set you apart from others in a way that is aligned with your truth. That is the whole point. And this excerpt is simply one example of that. So let's get into pulling some cards. Let's expand on the message, see what else wants to come through. And I just want to say I'm proud of you. Whatever you are doing to remain aligned with your truth, bringing forth the light in your unique way. Continue to breathe into that, align with that, visualize that, and remember that you're not alone. There are many people in the same place doing it in their own unique ways. And it's first going to be that quest for belonging. You may even say that human need we all have to be part of a tribe and belong in some aspect all begins with you first being most in alignment and belonging to yourself, which means you're no longer looking to see who else is joining you on that. It's simply about you doing your work in the world. And the more you do that, you carry that light forward so you can see the others who are showing up and possibly who have always been there. So, okay. Taking a quick look at the chat first. Yes, Helene was talking about the Let Your Light Shine movement. Well, at least that is what I'm seeing with your comment, Helene. Thank you for that. And she's affirming also, okay, the comments just scrolled on through. She was talking about my angels are going to teach me something today. Absolutely. And thank you for being here, Helene. Appreciate that. Sue Lee is saying, yes, awesome women. Yes, awesome women. XOXO. I love it. Absolutely. Women rock in every way. Okay, pulling from the cards. Let's pull some additional messages. And we're going to first pull from, let's pull from the chakra cards and see what chakras want to be highlighted today. Bring forth additional messages. And how is this message speaking, what's resonating for you? What's resonating for you? As I simply, share the title again of today's conversation, focus on the light and lean in to whatever may feel uncomfortable and yet is pulling you forward because it is your truth. It is what is right and in alignment for you. Feel free to let me know. I'd love to know how these conversations resonate with what's coming up for you. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I love this. We have creative expression, throat chakra, 5th chakra. Absolutely. And the other one right behind it, how does it get better than this? The other one literally right behind it is 3rd chakra, solar plexus, self-confidence. Absolutely, my friends. That is where we're going. So, okay, let's see here. I express myself, looking at the throat chakra card, it says, I express myself through talking, singing, sighing, laughing, and crying, and through using my creative talents. I express myself through talking, singing, sighing, laughing, and crying, and through using my creative talents. On the self-confidence card, we have, I like the way this first one's starting. It says, I trust myself fully. I will not allow fear or doubt to hold me back from doing what I am here to do. And the colors of those chakras are both blue and yellow. So as you are aligning with the light, you may visualize a white light beam coming on down through you. And you may also want to infuse in some blue and yellow into that. Breathing into that and allowing that to both fill up your inner being, expand outward, and be part of what also gets expressed outward through you as you are speaking your truth and being confident, being aligned. Love it, love it. Let's see what additional messages want to come through today. Let's go ahead and pull from, you know what we are. My attention keeps being drawn to the well-being cards. And for those who are with me live today, we do have a special interview coming up in a little bit here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to be speaking with a friend and powerful female empowered leader. Her name is Rosie Aiello. We're going to be talking all about the Love is Kind movement. And so you may want to join us for that. Okay, let's see what additional message wants to come through. The Abraham Hicks deck for everyone who views today's conversation live or on the replay. Okay, what do we have? Yeah, hello. Seeking approval of others hinders my joyousness. Seeking approval of others hinders my joyousness. Look at that. And what do we have on the screen? We have a beautiful blossoming tree with a caged bird. A caged bird. You may have so much you want to share, and yet if you are looking for all those other people to join you on your journey, you may be hindering your own joyousness. Sing anyway. Focus on the light and sing anyway. Focus on the light and speak anyway. Focus on the light and be anyway. Be your unique self. Be the light that is you. Being supported from above and getting to mix and mingle with your own unique combination of who you authentically are and sing. Okay. I love it, love it, love it. Helene is saying she is thankful. I'm thankful that you are feeling thankful during today's show. Awesome. We're going to pull some more cards. Let's see here. You know what? We're going to get a little frisky and rebellious with the Rebel deck. We're moving on right onto the Rebel deck right now. And so again, if you are new to the Rebel deck, it is a fun deck because it breaks the rules. But there are curse words. So if you're not fond of that, you may want to just cover your eyes. I will not be saying the curse words out loud, but you will get the gist. So let's see here. It's so interesting how I always, okay. Okay, there we go. I am feeling good in this chair. Okay, let's see here. Okay, awesome. Okay, we have two. Let's see what's on top. This is awesome. The front of the card says, some good-ish is about to happen. And the back says, don't let your issues F it up. Some good-ish is about to happen. Don't let your issues F it up. Love that. And the next one we have is, okay, it says, make better effing choices. The back says, if you are pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. Okay, sorry, I thought it said something else for a second. If you are pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. Make better effing choices. Woo! And so again, remember, you're always a work in progress. Every single one of us, we're always works in progress. And so even as you become really good at something and you know all this stuff, remember, as you reach one mastery of one thing in your life and you evolve into the new you that you are today, there's always going to be something new you're growing into, right? And so you take those tools that you've learned and you implement them, and now there's new contrast, something new to grow into. And we have an opportunity to grow into the next new evolution of who we are going to be. So again, there's always choice. And I find that when things get repeatedly frustrating, exactly, Helene is saying, I need some laughing out loud in me. That was exactly what I was going to say. When we find things frustrating, isn't it so fun to be able to find the joy and the humor, the humor and laugh? I'm going to say yes. I think so. And so now let's go ahead and pull some cards from the Mirrors deck by Janet Starr and Jeff Rolland. Get some additional questions here, because when we're frustrated, I apologize if that was very loud on the microphone there. When you're frustrated, well, that's a lower vibrational energy, a lower vibration emotion. And it can be harder to find those spaces to move up into that better feeling space, because the energy is slower. The energy is slower. So you got to slowly, gradually work your way up. And so if you can find humorous things, that's going to help you to break up that energy and move up that emotional guided scale a lot more quickly. So, and make those better choices. So new choices, different choices. Okay, so let's see what additional cards and messages want to come out. Okay, let's see here. There's a little one peeking out. Woo! We have here, I don't think this card's ever came out. We have death. And the bottom says the end or the beginning. The end or the beginning. When you make that new choice, when you make that new choice, it's a new beginning. You're opening up the doorway to a new beginning, being empowered to say, okay, this one thing ended and I begin again. I begin anew. And you may be saying, well, but Kim, I have always been focused on the light. I have always been focused on the light. I have been leaning in. And maybe it's time to just simply make some new choices, though, because there's something that is ready to end. There's something that is ready to end. I thought there was something, just wait, what's it? You know what? Look at this. Look at this. I forgot to read the backside of this card. Let's see what this says. So on the back of the Abraham Hicks card, it says, if the way you feel depends on anything outside of you, you're in trouble. But if you depend only upon your connection with your own inner being, then everything in your experience falls into alignment. But if you depend only upon your connection with your own inner being, then everything in your experience falls into alignment. So, and this is excellent, because what you may find, and this is, I think, just, I'm just going to continue. What you may find throughout your life journey, throughout your, I am aligned, I am focused on the light, I am doing what feels right for me, and speaking truth and all of that. You may find that along the way, as other contrast has shown up, maybe some of it has hung around a little longer, worn out its welcome. Maybe it has worn out its welcome, and maybe that's something that simply you haven't quite cleared out yet. And so by refocusing, and so awesome that you now have that clarity to go, okay, we've got something over here that maybe served a purpose at one time, and it's time to further clear that out because it's time to refocus on the light. I hope this is making sense. I hope the point that I'm trying to make here is coming through. Don't be too hard on yourself wherever you are in the process. So, okay, I feel like I sort of ended mid thought there, but I think the gist may have come through. Let's see if there's one more card in the Mirrors deck that wants to come through. Ooh. Okay. What message wants to... Is that the one? I'm getting a no. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's the one. If you saw that one pop up, we have... Oh, yeah. We have heartbreak. Are you going to find it again? Heartbreak. Are you going to find it again? So here we may have, so if this is speaking to you, if there was a relationship or a connection with someone that has ended or possibly is simply transforming, maybe one aspect is ending and on the horizon is a new beginning. You've got to let one thing to fully die away and end so that you can have that new beginning. Okay, let's see here. Let's move on to another deck. And I'm being mindful of the time because we will be taking a few minutes to get ready for our conversation with Rosie in a bit here. Okay, for anyone who's in the midst of that heartbreak, make sure that you're taking time to breathe and go within and really nurture yourself. To heal, to love yourself and own your magnificence. Okay, let's see what additional message wants to come through. Okay, what was this? Yeah, we have boundaries. We have set boundaries. Protect your precious time and energy. Absolutely. Let's see what else wants to come through. We have guidance. Ask for guidance. The divine will meet your every need. Now I'm going to pull from the How to Love Yourself deck. Pull a card from here, see what message wants to come through. What message wants to come through for everyone who views or listens to today's conversation? So interesting. There's an additional theme coming through here. We have, my mind is a powerful healing tool. Every day, I choose to send loving, healing energy to the planet. What I do with my mind does make a difference. So, as we started off talking about focusing on the light and leaning in and really speaking to that space of, I'm going to say, realigning, refocusing to what is true for you and in your highest good, because what's in your highest good, as you give that, as you be that gift and give that gift to the world around you, you may be experiencing different levels of choosing to be courageous, brave, emerging more confidently out into the world. And there may have been an element of healing heartbreak that has been part of you being able to put yourself out there confidently. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? Helene typically gives an amen in the comments. And I know I saw one earlier. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Amen. Oh my goodness. Are you feeling that one? Is that resonating for you? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure that you are allowing yourself to heal, allowing yourself to be nurtured from within. And if your mind has been on, take the F word out of this one. If your mind has been on autopilot, circulating through lots of thoughts that feel like they're out of your control, this is your opportunity to remember that no, you are actually the one who has the power here, in control. And so make some different choices that can support you in taking yourself to a new space. Taking yourself to a new space because, darling, something good's about to happen. And you don't want the heartbreak or the death to keep you from being able to speak your truth, to keep you from being able to lean in and put yourself out there courageously. Your mind is a powerful healing tool. That was very unexpected for me to see that connection come through. You are not meant to be a caged bird. Look at all that abundance waiting for you on that tree. You're meant to be uncaged, to be able to sing freely, to fly freely, flit from branch to branch, blossom to blossom. We're going to move right along to our angel cards and then close out here in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and pull from our Walking with Your Angels by Keith Leon S. Daily Inspiration deck. Oops, upside down. Okay, let's see what this says. Archangel Jeremiel. Clear your heart and mind and open yourself to my guidance. I can support you in releasing your burdens and uplifting your emotional state of being. You deserve to feel joyful. Letting go of what doesn't feel good is a way to free your mind and open your life to a new world of possibilities. This is so beautiful how everything always comes full circle. Once again, asking for the guidance, because when you let go of what doesn't feel good, making those different choices, you open your life up. You open your mind up to new possibilities. That was beautiful. Okay, that's going to be our one angel card. I'm looking at the time here. We're going to move on to closing out with our final card, which is a postcard from Spirit. So let's see what the final closing message is for today. And if you're enjoying today's conversation, please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up or a like or whatever you may see on your end, or share this conversation with someone who you know it may benefit. Okay, this one just popped right out and literally landed in my lap. And I am so grateful to all the cards landing in my lap or on the card or in my hands today. So beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, we have here, you are love. You are love. Okay, let's see what the message is. It says, "Dearest you, even though life seems now to be moving full steam ahead, it's a time to rest. Allow ideas to flow through you and take root in your heart before they reach your mind. Honor this process by becoming empty to allow for inspiration and the magic of dreaming. You might feel lazy or unproductive, but we know better. Just as sleep is a way to recharge before renewal, so are you in a time for dreaming. In this powerful process of co creation, your soul merges with spirit in a profound way so you can receive your music directly from source and play your part in the symphony of life. You are being invited to bear witness to the great creation and tune in to what others can't hear. We have so many dreams to share with you in the sacred and the invisible. Don't worry. We will wake you when it's time to return with a new dream. No need to set an alarm clock. Loving you always." Oh, I'm loving, loving, loving that message. That is beautiful. So if you are in a space of feeling more quiet and yet feeling also that maybe in that space of transition, feeling that it is time to simply be present with yourself, go inward for whatever reason. Maybe you're still in the process of healing heartbreak, of experiencing some form of a death. And for in however you interpret the boundaries, right? Whether this be literal boundaries with specific people or just simply cutting out distractions and taking time for you right now, going within, seeking guidance, allowing for your own inner guidance to come through from source, from spirit, your inner being, as you make a new choice. You have massive confirmation right here that you are right on track with that. You're right on track with that. Because as you do that, as you shift your energy in that space, clearing out the old, you allow for yourself to emerge more self-confidently, speaking your truth, leaning in, and you are becoming that bird who is no longer caged. So, so beautifully. And I want to remind you, if you have not yet joined the Let Your Light Shine movement, you have an open invitation to do so. You can go to bit.ly/Let Your Light Shine movement. And I want to make sure you also know that if you are seeking some human support and guidance and coaching in being able to speak your truth, emerge more confidently, reach out to me, book a one-on-one consultation, a free coffee chat, I'm currently calling it. Basically, the link for a free call on my website. Go to KimO'NeillCoaching.com and reach out to me, because I'm here to absolutely guide you and support you in that. So go ahead and do that. I'd love to connect with you. Have an amazing day, everybody. You are here for a reason. I want to also acknowledge before I close out, because we do have a special conversation happening in a little bit here on the Every Day is a New Day show, going to be highlighting the Love is Kind movement with Rosie Aiello. And in 2 days, we're going to be having a very special live group panel discussion on Dark Night of the Soul experiences and perspectives. And that may also be part of the experience you are having right now, as if you are experiencing some form of an internal death, maybe a literal death, whatever it may be, and feeling that you are going within, seeking more guidance as you heal. We're going to be speaking all about that because that is an experience that me and my guests have all been through. And I recognize many people are going through that right now as well. And so if you are in that and you're going, I've heard this phrase, I don't know what it means, but there's something there because I think that might be what I'm going through. Or maybe I just want to better understand what I'm experiencing. Or maybe you want to better understand what others are experiencing right now. Maybe people in your sphere and you're thinking, why is this person in my life? That just what's going on with them? Join us. That conversation is going to be held a little differently. It is going to show up live on Facebook and YouTube, but we are specifically using Zoom as a tool. The conversation will be live, again, showing up on Facebook and YouTube, but at the end of our conversation, those who have joined us live in Zoom will be able to, engage with us in a Q&A. And so we'll have a Q&A that is not recorded, a very private conversation we get to have one-on-one with each other. If you join in there, don't worry, you're not going to be live on the show. So if you want to join us for that, you want to join the Zoom call, or if you simply want to watch and observe the show and the conversation with me and my guests, you can watch that on Facebook and YouTube. I hope that was clear. I'm going to get going, y'all. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. And again, know that you are always right on time. So even if you listen or watch this conversation, say a year from now, all these resources and tools are coming to you right now in this moment for a reason. And just know you're right on time, okay? You haven't missed anything. You have all the tools that are here to benefit you and serve you at the right time. And just allow yourself to breathe into that. Release any fear or anxiety or resistance about feeling off schedule, out of sync, not on time. And know that as you make some new choices, I won't hold up the cards anymore, okay? I won't hold up cards anymore. As you make those new choices, you get to emerge more confidently, joyfully, in love, experiencing the abundance that is already right here, right now, waiting for you. So have an amazing day. I'm going to officially close out now, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.